The Last Defender Iron Fist has finally premiered yesterday, actually, the full trailer for Iron Fist, the Netflix series. When I mean Last Defender, obviously you guys know that all the shows are going to combine, like they did with the Avengers, blah, blah, blah. All the shows are going to combine, and it's going to be a Defender series with Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, the Punisher, who was introduced into the second season of Daredevil, spoiler, and also, I believe that Elektra is going to be a part of it too. When she gets, we know she's going to get resurrected. That's the whole part of Elektra's story. And part that I was upset with the last season of Daredevil a little bit, but whatever. But it was still a good season. And here's my reaction to that trailer that came out yesterday. So I have to start right off by saying that this trailer is awesome. It just doesn't look like anything that they produced on Netflix yet. Period. It has a very different tone and a feel to it. Granted, it still has that realistic tone, which hopefully that's something good. But as far as everything else, just you could see there's a little bit more levity in it, a little bit more humor. And I'm not usually the person to say, oh, put more humor into it. But in this case, I think that it works really well, at least for this initial trailer. I love the fact that there's an obvious distinction between how his martial arts work and, well, let's just say the person who started the Netflix series, Daredevil. Daredevil's that more street fighter type of thing, a boxer, and he's obviously more martial arts and kung fu. And I feel bad because sometimes people think that I may be a Marvel hater, but I'm not. I'm actually a Marvel fan, but I've always been more of a I've kind of been more of a fan of the more obscure people in Marvel comic books, the more obscure superheroes and characters like Daredevil particularly. I loved him when I was little. I remember I first saw him, I was just like, I just love that character. And people like Iron Fist, for one of them. I mean, like, I didn't follow him religiously or anything like that, but he was one of those characters that I grew up with. And obviously, I'm happy to see him in a series and everything like this, so it's great that they're doing this for Netflix and how it's going to connect into their whole universe there. That being said, I was a huge fan of the first season of Daredevil. Second season, I won't go into right now, but just a little bit iffy for me. It was good, but there was certain things I was like, oh, wish they didn't do it that way. Whatever. Jessica Jones, I was pleasantly surprised with that. Yeah, I go a little bit more towards girl power, but hey, this is how I am. But I really did love the tone. I love that series. And Luke Cage, I was on the fence with. I know a lot of people like Luke Cage, but for me, I was just a little bit on the fence with for certain reasons. But the big fanboy comes out in me. Just thinking of the fact that I'm going to see Luke Cage and Iron Fist together, like in the comic books that I first read when I was a kid. I remember my older brother gave me a Luke Cage Iron Man comic book, which was Iron Man, Iron Fist comic book. And I remember I just read through and I loved it. And I loved the action and I just loved how the characters interact. Sweet Christmas, yeah, we all know that. But yeah, I really enjoyed those comic books when I was younger, and it's really cool to see him on screen. One thing I do have to say though about when they did the origin about his parents and everything like that, some people I've heard say like there's been more of a Batman reference and everything like that because but I feel there's more of an Arrow feel, at least, the Arrow of the TV show. And granted, Arrow of the TV show is basically the Batman of that universe. But I really feel that that's where they borrowed more of it from, and that's more how the tone laid towards it. I just want to say, when I said the whole thing about Arrow, like it being like a pretty close relation to Arrow, the reason why I say that is because, and not only definitely, I mean, a lot of people have used that storyline and everything like that, but it just seems like they really geared it towards being more like Arrow a little bit in that way, because that's what Oliver Queen did in the TV series. He came back and then he tried to take back his company, blah, blah, blah. It was basically almost the exact same story. But yeah, the argument can be said that Arrow basically is the Batman of the CW universe, and that is completely obvious because we know that Green Arrow in the comic book doesn't act like that. You can even people who didn't read the comic book, like if you even watch the Justice League animated series, more of his personality from that. But yeah, I do think I don't think that that's a bad thing to go by that model, to do it for that. And this is also one of Iron Fist's, if you think about it in a different way, like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, even Daredevil to a certain extent, they're all at a lower tax bracket. and this one, you have the guy coming back to his company that he's you know, obviously you already know that he's rich and everything like that. So it's gonna kind of be different how they actually put them together and everything like that, because obviously this is not going to be like the comic book version of Iron Fist completely. So when they get them together, it's going to kind of be cool to see how that works out and everything like that. And I can't wait to see the universe. And even the clip there, I forgot to put it in my little reaction there. The older Asian lady, mafia boss, from Daredevil, it looked like she was in that clip, and I didn't realize that she was going to be a part of this, and that was going to be a connection in this series. But it kind of makes sense because, you know, she brought more of the martial arts threats and everything like that. Even that ninja who wound up beating the crap out of Daredevil in season 1. So that's going to be interesting how they're going to bring that all about and everything like that. Yay, the glowing fist, the glowing fist. And people are like, oh, they spent so much money on a glowing fist. All you have to do is put a ball in your hand that glows, and then you have to put like the special effects around it from After Effects, and there you go, you got a glowing fist. It doesn't take that much. So I don't think, then I always say like, oh, you look at superhero, that takes a lot. But, you know, glowing fist is not going to be too much. But that whole smash down at the end of the scene, I just have to mention, that looked incredible. That's the reason why I'm like, damn, the series is going to be a lot different from the other Marvel Netflix series, because we haven't seen like special effects like that or anything like that before, or at least a scene like that. That was just, that kind of made me go, whoa, we have not seen that. All Jessica Jones, nothing. None of these series have done anything like that. Even Luke Cage, who was another superpowered human being and everything like that. He didn't do too much except for maybe that guy who like smacked him in the face, and then like you saw the bones crackle in the guy's arm and everything like that, and that was a very simple special effect. But yeah, I'm glad they're kind of going all out to do this one, and I can't wait to see this one out of all of them. Yeah, it's gonna be great. And I hope you guys, I would like to hear your reactions to the trailer, if you guys liked it or not, and what you're anticipating from the actual Iron Fist TV show. And I hope you all have a great day. Oh, subscribe down if you want to subscribe down for more videos. Just go hit the subscribe button down there. And also, my website is back up, Visions of the New. Even though the comic books are old there, like I said, there's gonna be stuff. You just have to wait. But my website is back up, visionsofthenew.com.